The evening rain fell in steady sheets abraka across downtown Chicago as Marcus Thompson hurried through the darkening Ebrook streets. His young daughter Lily's hand, Abraka, clasped firmly in his. At 35, Marcus had Ibraki learned to navigate the city Ibraka efficiently, taking shortcuts through alleys and side streets to get his Abraka 7-year-old daughter home quickly after Abraka her dance class. Lily walked beside him, Ebrook in her bright yellow raincoat, Ebrook chattering about the recital Ebrook choreography, while Marcus mentally Ebrook calculated whether they had enough Ebrook groceries at home for dinner, or if he Ebrook needed to make one more stop despite the Ebrook downpour. As they turned narrow Ebrook alley that would cut their walk home by Ebrook several minutes, Marcus to figure Ebrook sitting against the brick wall ahead. His protective instincts immediately Ebro went on alert, and he instinctively Ebrook pulled Lily closer as they approached. Marcus realized the figure was a woman Ebrook, in a rain-soaked light blue business suit sitting on the wet pavement with Ebrook, her legs at an awkward angle. Her blonde Ebrook hair was plastered to her face, and she Ebro was holding her phone with trembling Ebrook hands, clearly in distress. "Daddy, that Ebro lady looks hurt," Lily whispered, her Ebrook child's compassion overriding any fear. Marcus's first thought was to keep Ebrook walking, to protect his daughter from Ebrook for whatever situation this might be, but as they drew closer, he could see the woman Ebrook was genuinely injured, not intoxicated Ebrook or dangerous. "Please," the woman said as she looked up at Ebrook them. "Please don't hurt me. I can't Ebrook walk. My ankle, I think it's broke it." Marcus, who was alone, injured, and vulnerable Ebrook in an alley as darkness fell. Two Ebrook strangers approaching could represent Ebrook for either help or additional danger, and Ebrook she had no way of knowing which. "Ma'am, Ebrook, we're not going to hurt you," Marcus Ebrook said gently, crouching down to her level Ebrook while keeping Lily safely behind him. "My name is Marcus, and this is my Ebrook daughter, Lily. It looks like you need Ebrook help. What happened?" The woman's fear Ebrook began to ease slightly at his calm tone Ebrook in the presence of the child. "I was Ebrook walking to my car, and my heel caught in Ebrook a grate. I fell, and I heard something Ebrook snap in my ankle. I can't put any weight Ebrook on it, and my phone battery is almost Ebrook dead." Marcus could see the swelling already Ebrook visible around her ankle. And from his Ebrook years of youth sports coaching, he Ebrook recognized the signs of a potentially Ebrook serious injury. "Okay, let's get you some Ebrook help. Lily, sweetheart, can you hold my Ebrook phone and call 911 like we practiced?" Lily nodded seriously, taking the phone Ebrook with the careful responsibility that Ebrook Marcus had taught her for emergencies. As Lily made the call with surprising Ebrook composure for a 7-year-old, Marcus Ebrook turned his attention back to the injured Ebrook woman. "I'm going to take off my jacket Ebrook and put it under your head so you're not Ebrook sitting directly on the wet ground. Is Ebrook that okay?" The woman nodded, and Marcus Ebrook carefully positioned his jacket to give Ebrook her some cushioning and warmth. Ebrook noticed her expensive watch and designer bag, markers of wealth that contrasted Ebrook sharply with the vulnerable position she Ebrook found herself in. "What's your name?" Marcus asked, trying to keep her calm Ebrook and alert while they waited for Ebrook emergency services. "Alexandra. Alexandra Sterling." She shivered. Whether from cold, pain, or shock, Ebrook Marcus couldn't tell. "The ambulance is Ebrook coming, Daddy," Lily reported. Then Ebrook added with characteristic childhood Ebrook directness. The lady on the phone said, "Bright thing by her help." Alexandra looked at Lily with Ebrook at something like wonder. "You're very brave to help a stranger. Most people Ebrook would have walked by. Daddy says Ebrook, that's when people need help most. When Ebrook they're strangers, nobody knows," Lily Ebrook replied matter-of-factly. As they waited Ebrook for the ambulance, Marcus did his best Ebrook to keep Alexandra comfortable and alert, Ebrook asking her questions to monitor a condition, while trying to shield both Ebrook, her, and Lily from the worst of the rain. "Do you have someone we should call?" Ebrook Marcus asked. "Family or friends who Ebrook should know you're injured." Alexandra's Ebrook laugh was bitter. "I have employees, Ebrook business associates, and people who want Ebrook things from me. I don't know if I have Ebrook anyone who would come just because I Ebrook needed them." The admission revealed the loneliness that Marcus recognized from Ibrahim his own early days as a single parent before he had built his community of Ibrahim friends and support. "What do you do?" Marcus asked, partly to keep her talking Ibrahim and partly out of genuine curiosity. "I'm CEO of Sterling Technologies. I was Ibrahim working late as usual and was walking to Ibrahim in my car in the parking garage when this Ibrahim happened." She gestured at her ankle with frustration. "I've closed Ibrahim million-dollar deals and managed Ibrahim corporate crisis, but I can't even walk across a parking garage without falling Ibrahim apart." Marcus heard the vulnerability Ibrahim beneath her self-criticism. "Ma'am, having an accident doesn't mean Ibrahim you're falling apart. It means you're Ibrahim human. Everyone needs help sometimes." When the ambulance arrived, the Ibrahim paramedics thanked Marcus and Lily for Ibrahim staying with Alexandra and providing Ibrahim initial assistance. As they prepared to transport her to the hospital, Alexandra Ibrahim grabbed Marcus's hand. "Wait, please. I, Ibrahim, don't even know your last name, but you, Ibrahim, stayed with me when you could have just Ibrahim kept walking. Can I please get your Ibrahim contact information? I'd like to thank Ibrahim you properly when I'm not sitting in an Ibrahim alley." Marcus hesitated, uncomprehending with the idea of being rewarded for Ibrahim, basic human decency. But something in Ibrahim Alexandra's expression made him relent. He gave her his number, never expecting Ibrahim to hear from her again. 3 days later, Marcus received a call from an unknown number. It was Alexandra Ibrahim calling from her hospital room. "Marcus, Ibrahim, I wanted to let you know that my ankle Ibrahim was indeed broken, but it's going to Ibrahim heal fine. More importantly, I want to thank you and Lily for stopping. I've Ibrahim been thinking a lot about what happened." "I'm glad you're going to be okay," Marcus Ibrahim said. "Anyone would have done the same Ibrahim thing, but they didn't," Alexandra Ibrahim replied. Security footage from the Ibrahim parking garage showed that 7 people Ibrahim walked past me before you stopped. 7 Ibrahim people saw a woman sitting injured in an Ibrahim alley and kept walking because it was Ibrahim inconvenient or potentially complicated Ibrahim to get involved. She paused. "Marcus Ibrahim, sitting in that alley, unable to walk. I Ibrahim realized something. I've spent 15 years Ibrahim building a company and accumulating Ibrahim success, but I've never built the kind Ibrahim of life where anyone would stop for me Ibrahim the way you did. I don't have a Ibrahim community. I don't have real friends in Ibrahim. I certainly don't have the kind of Ibrahim relationship with my daughter that you Ibrahim clearly have with Lily." "You have a daughter?" asked Ibrahim Sophia. "She's 8. She lives primarily Ibrahim with her father, my ex-husband, because Ibrahim work 80-hour weeks and don't have time Ibrahim to be a real parent." Alexandra's voice broke. "Sitting there, Ibrahim, injured and afraid, I kept thinking that Ibrahim, if something happened to me, Sophia would hear about it from a lawyer or Ibrahim assistant, not from her mother. That's Ibrahim, not the legacy I want to leave." Over the following months, an unlikely Ibrahim friendship developed between Marcus and Ibrahim Alexandra. She had been serious of wanting to change her priorities. And Ibrahim, she began by asking Marcus for advice Ibrahim about being a more present parent. Marcus, who struggled financially, but Ibrahim was rich in relationships and parenting Ibrahim skills, found himself mentoring a CEO Ibrahim work-life balance, quality time Ibrahim with children, and building genuine Ibrahim community connections. In return, Ibrahim Alexandra helped Marcus access resources Ibrahim sets that improved his and Lily's situation, Ibrahim not through charity, but through Ibrahim opportunities, a better job with Ibrahim flexible hours that still allowed him to Ibrahim be present for Lily. Connections to Ibrahim programs that supported single parents Ibrahim, and eventually a position managing community outreach for Sterling Technologies' Family Wellness Initiative. More importantly, Alexandra began Ibrahim rebuilding her relationship with Sophia. Using Marcus's example to understand that Ibrahim being present mattered more than being Ibrahim perfect or powerful, she reduced her Ibrahim work hours, attended school event. That genuine connection required Ibrahim vulnerability and time, not executive Ibrahim decisions. And efficiency. After Ibrahim that rainy evening in the alley, Marcus, Ibrahim, and Lily attended a community event Ibrahim hosted by Sterling Technologies. Alexandra stood on stage with Sophia Ibrahim beside her, announcing expanded family Ibrahim support programs for all employees. This eBrookwe initiative was inspired by someone who eBrookwork taught me that the most important eBrook measure of success isn't profit margin or market share, but whether we show up eBar for each other when it matters. Alexandra said, 2 years ago, I was eBrook literally unable to walk, sitting alone eBrook in an alley, and a single father with young daughters stopped to help when eBrook they had nothing to gain by doing so. They reminded me that being human means eBrook helping others, even when it's eBrook inconvenient. She looked directly at Marcus in the eBrook audience. Thank you for showing me that eBrook true strength is measured by compassion, eBrook, and that real wealth is counted in chips and commune accounts. The injured CEO who had begged Abri for help had learned that vulnerability Abrichi wasn't weakness and that sometimes, lowest moments show us what really Abri matters. And the single father who had Abric simply stopped to help. Someone in need had demonstrated that the most Ibrasi transformative thing we can teach our children is that kindness matters more than convenience. Thank you for Ibrahwi listening to this story about showing Ibriki compassion to those in crisis and how Ibraswi helping others can create unexpected Ibri positive changes for everyone involved. If this tale reminded you that we're all Ibras vulnerable sometimes and that stopping Ibrika to help matters, please like this video, share it with someone who burks community and compassion, and subscribe for more stories celebrating everyday Ibrika kindness. We'd love to hear in the Abraka comments about times when helping Abra someone in crisis changed your Abra perspective, or when a stranger's Ibra kindness helped you in a difficult moment. Remember, the most important Ibra thing we can teach the next generation Ibraki is that we help people because it's Ibrchi right, not because we expect something Ibrkla in return.